How we doing? How we doing? That's crazy, bro. I don't even think that would actually happen, to be honest with you. Any more firm? How we doing? I don't like that. Damn. How we doing? Hey, hey. Oh, no feelings. Why does that happen? I don't understand why it did. There you go. Fern. Still can't hear it. What in the frick? Hmm. Hmm. My mic's working. Click on this properties. How Minecraft scammer stole 16.5 million. Oh, that shit didn't I didn't even see that shit. It does that every time. I don't know why it does not stay the same. I forget that I have to switch it back every time. That's not my fault, man. It's not. Alright. There you go.
It's crawling with hackers and scammers. They trade stolen or hacked online accounts. For
couldn't be
$1,500,
me.
you could buy the late XXXTentacion's old Minecraft account or get a clean Twitter handle, like @Beers. Graham signs up under the name Graham $, and gets banned just 4 days later. Again, he took money, but never delivered. But in his few days on the forum, something else grabbed his attention. A new kind of scam. SIM swapping. An AT&T store in the center of Boston. Tech investor Greg Bennett has a problem. He's lost his phone. Luckily, the store rep can help. In cases like this, mobile carriers can transfer your number from the lost SIM card to a new one.
Damn.
All Greg has to do is show some ID, and the process gets started. It takes a little while though, so the man leaves the store while it's being handled. The only thing is that man wasn't Greg Bennett, not even close.
And
so it looks like somebody walked into a store and said they were me to an employee who was a collaborator, then swap out give them a phone with a new SIM card, and then wiped out my SIM card in that process.
This is the real Greg
damn.
Bennett. He shared his story on the Cybercrime Magazine podcast, and his
I
case
got
is by
fucked.
far not the only one. Most of the time, the scammers don't even have to walk into a store. They just call the mobile provider's customer service line, pretend to be someone else, and talk their way in. The next day, the real Greg Bennett is at home in Seattle, sitting with his son, talking business, when suddenly his phone stops working.
There's no cell signal, no nothing. And I notice also that I'm having trouble. I'm working on trying to get into my email accounts, and I can't get into my email accounts either. So I'm now thinking very bad things.
While Bennett's on the phone with AT&T trying to figure out what's going on, the scammers have already taken over his phone number. Since two-factor authentication is often tied to a phone number, getting access to that number means getting access to all other accounts.
All
damn.
these folks have to do is use your email address to try to log on to these accounts and then say, forgot password. So then the password resets is sent to your text, which is now controlled by another phone that you don't have.
So the fraudsters now have access to his emails, his bank accounts, and his crypto accounts. 164 Bitcoin gets stolen from Bennett's wallet. Back then, they were worth around $856,000. Today, it would be well over $10 million. Authorities were able to recover 100 of the stolen Bitcoin, but 64 are still missing to this day. Maybe there were multiple people involved, but in the end, only one suspect was ever identified.
It was a 17-year-old with an accomplice who was very good on a computer, and they were actually very good, very efficient. I got to give them some credit for how good they were.
Because the suspect was still a minor at the time, he wasn't arrested, but there is evidence pointing to the teenage hacker behind the attack. During the scam, Bennett received an extortion message. It was signed with Scrim, reportedly one of the online aliases used by Graham Evan Clark. According to the New York Times, additional evidence links Graham to the attack. For one, afterwards he suddenly started living large. He moved into his own apartment, bought a BMW and a Rolex. And before turning 18, Graham wants to pull off his biggest stunt yet. Among his targets is none other than the man who would one day become the richest person on the planet. Everything Graham needs for the hack, he taught himself, learning by doing. But you don't just need to take on the richest man in the world to level up your problem-solving skills. You can just use Brilliant, the hands-on learning platform teaches through interactive fun challenges. Like here, with their class on Pro 6 science/subscription 4 hours
Oh,
before
I've
it
already
gets
got
hacked,
me.
the Tesla
Fuck.
CEO is busy on Twitter, handling customer support.
To do this automatically.
Around the same time, Graham is sitting in front of his PC in Tampa. His plan is to sell rare usernames and access to Twitter accounts, just like people do every day on
A cool
OG
looking
users.
PC.
He figures each account could go for thousands of dollars, but instead of hacking individual users, Graham chooses the easier route. He wants to come at them from the inside. He picks a new nickname for this mission, Kirk, like the captain from Star Trek. Time to get a crew. He messages what appears to be his first collaborator on Discord. His name is Lowell. Graham claims he works at Twitter and has internal access. We don't know exactly who Lowell is, but the New York Times spoke with him and confirmed he worked with Graham. Most likely Graham brought him in to help sell the stolen accounts. Over the next few hours, their group will grow to at least 5 people. Then phase 1 begins. Graham must have been preparing for this moment for weeks. We know that from court records. He used LinkedIn to dig up contact info for Twitter employees. That's his entry point. Now he's going to call them. A 17-year-old kid wearing a Rolex.
Hi, this is Eric from the help desk. You're having issues with your VPN connection?
Graham gets a few Twitter employees on the phone. Some get suspicious. A few even report a call to Twitter's fraud monitoring team. But one employee stays on the line and believes he's really talking to someone from the help desk.
Okay, so your VPN's acting up? I'll send you a new link. Hang on. Try this one instead.
Graham sends the employee a fake login page. When the employee types in his credentials, Graham does the exact same thing, but in the real VPN login form. Now all he needs is the two-factor authentication code. Graham triggers the 2FA request. The code gets sent via SMS to the employee, who then enters it into the fake login page. Done. Graham is in. Phase 1 is underway. Through the VPN connection, he's essentially inside the Twitter employee's computer. The question now, how does he get to the back end? The place where he can
That's
reset access
crazy.
to individual Twitter accounts. Graham starts poking around, but it turns out this particular employee doesn't have the right permissions. From here, Graham can't access account credentials. So Graham digs deeper into Twitter's internal network. He's trying to understand the system, reading through countless internal messages. There has to be something useful here. Then, jackpot. He finds the login details for someone in Twitter's legal department. That's his way in. The legal department has deep access, and now so does Graham. With just a few clicks, he can now take over any Twitter account he wants. It's simple. Change the registered email to his own, or to the buyer's. Set a new password. Done. Now Graham needs buyers. Phase 2 begins. But there's a problem.
That's
Graham's
going
reputation
crazy.
on OG users, the perfect marketplace for rare handles, is trash. No one's going to buy anything from him. So he needs middlemen, dealers. Lowell has been on board since yesterday. Today, Che Wan joins the crew. Che Wan is 19 years old and lives on the south coast of England. His real name is Mason Shepard. Not long after, Rolex signs on. He's 22, from
He's
Orlando,
got a
Florida.
picture of him.
His real name is Nima Fazeli. Graham probably doesn't tell either of them the full story. He claims, just like he told Lowell, that he works for Twitter, maybe to gain their trust. Because unlike Graham, both Che Wan and Rolex have solid reputations on OG users. On Wednesday morning, Che Wan posts this on OG users. From $2,500 to $3,000, you can buy any Twitter account. Che Wan even name drops some past customers, supposedly people who've already bought from him successfully. Payment is Bitcoin only, and no small talk. Buyers are told not to start the chat with "Hey," just drop the handle they want and make an offer. Serious offers are discussed with Graham over Discord.
Damn.
1359, Che Wan.
5K for @XX, 3K at dark. Let me know. Guy wants them. Also, is @vampire doable?
5K for all three?
Later that day, a potential buyer seems to become part of the crew. Joe. His real name is Joseph O'Connor. He's British too, and 21 at the time. He knows his way around SIM swapping, and is rumored to have been involved in an earlier hack of Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. His exact role isn't clear, but Joe does post a tweet that shows that he's on the inside. It's Twitter's admin tools. Twitter takes it down shortly after it's posted. Behind the scenes, the platform has already started investigating. Since early that morning, they've been looking into strange calls from
Not on my side, it didn't. Bro. Is it tweaking?